welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to review the trades that took yesterday on the 16th of July, where I made a combined ARA of 9.7 across these three trades. So I took two short positions on EURUSD, and then I took one long position on GBPUSD that resulted in nearly 6 ARA. So let's begin with EURUSD, and I'll show you what was the logic for me going to the short positions. So as we can see, price didn't even come into the 50% of the Fibonacci level. Okay, so I think if we take this level, for example, price was quite far away to reach the 50. So what has made me think that we can drop from here? So in order to do that, we need to look what has EURUSD done previously. So first of all, if we carefully examine the previous price action, we can see that price was continuously accumulating to the upside and then dropping. Then it did it again, accumulated to the upside and then dropped. Again, accumulated to the upside and then dropped. Another one, dropped. And that's the same story we see in here, where price just accumulated to the upside and then dropped. Okay, so this is something that we would like to see in a very bearish market, which shows that price is very eager to go lower, and it does it over and over again. Okay, another thing that has made me realize that we want to go short at that point is that EURUSD has formed SMT with GBPUSD. So the yellow zone is the Frankfurt session, and the green zone is the London session. So we can see that at the start of London session, EURUSD has swept Frankfurt's liquidity, but GBPUSD has failed to do that, forming an SMT, which would clearly be seen on a lower time frame. Okay, and then after that, price has closed with the candle's body below inducement. This is the inducement level, if we could mark it like that, which would indicate that price is likely to go lower to the first PD array after this IDM, which is this 15-minute order block, which is where my take initially was. But then once price came to it, I tried to extend my TP all the way down and set my set my stop loss to this level, to another IDM, but unfortunately price just swept this and then died. So I should have just kept my original entry and stop loss, but it is what it is. So we have SMT, we have IDM, we have a bearish accumulation to the upside, and then I dropped on a lower time frame. So let me show you on a lower time frame what happened. Now that we have a break of structure on a lower time frame, we can also see this very nice accumulation AMD formation on EURUSD. Then I'm waiting for price to come into the OTE area. Okay, so first of all, I'm waiting for price to come to at least 50% zone, and then I want to see either a candle pattern formation like this. So I saw the pin bar, then I saw a break of structure, and I entered straight away, which wasn't a good idea, as price just manipulated me and went higher. But then I waited for price to show me some other confirmation, and it came to this external 1-minute order block. As you remember, in my previous videos, I explained how order blocks work and why do we care about the external one, which is the last order block within the range, because that's where we get the best ARA. So we see price came into once, it tapped it, gave a reaction, but we don't enter here because this is not something I entertain. I want to see a manipulation within the block once again. So this is where we see a proper sweep of liquidity, a pin bar, very nice rejection, and then I was just waiting for price to come into here and I placed my entry. So this has resulted in 3.8 ARA, as I said, and it was a very, very nice setup. I consider it as an A+ setup for me because all the tick boxes were ticked, and it was a very nice and clean setup again. Then I was planning to enter some positions in the afternoon if I saw some reversal opportunities, which was very nicely presented on GBPUSD. So we had news at 1:30 p.m. London time. However, it gave us a bearish reaction. I couldn't really see anything from there, and I waited. Then I saw that we have started rejecting, going lower. I was also monitoring the XY at that time, but for this analysis at the moment, it's not really useful, as it just mimics the price action of EURUSD. So what has actually happened? At that time, we got SMT between EURUSD and GBPUSD. So as you can see, EURUSD has swept this low. GBP has failed to do that. Then GBP also formed SFP pattern. So if you don't know, SFP is defined as swing failure pattern. It's when SMT also happens on a 15-minute candle. So this candle, as you can see, 1445 on EURUSD is black, so it's bearish candle. On GBPUSD, the same candle is green. This is called SFP candle, which means that on these assets, which are very correlated, they go in the same direction usually. If we see a candle on a 15-minute time frame that has different colors, so one is bearish, the other one is bullish, and one of them sweeps liquidity, that is an SFP candle. Okay, so at this point GBP/USD has swept liquidity with this candle. I think that on a 4-hour time frame on the left there was very high liquidity that I was targeting. And after that, what SFP candle implies is that this candle should hold this low. So one of these candles will hold a low, and I was just monitoring because GBP was green, so it means it was stronger at that time. GBP was the best asset to long at that time. Okay, that's why I didn't go with euro, because usually you'd want to long euro as it has swept liquidity, but not in this case because we got SFP candle that shows me that I want to long GBP, and it was a really good idea. So what has actually happened? I was targeting the high of the day, which was this Frankfurt's high. We could also say this was a nice accumulation, so as AMD formation we can call accumulation, manipulation, and distribution to the upside. Okay, so what do we have at that time? SMT, we have SFP candle, we also have this nice pin bar where we want to see rejection of the 15% level, and also on 1 hour time frame GBP has swept this low. As you can see, it hasn't closed with the candle's body below it, which also showed me that this could be just a sweep and we can go higher. Also, we have RSI divergence on a 1 hour time frame. So as you can see, your GBP/USD has made low and then lower low, while RSI has showed low and a higher low. Okay, so that already indicated me that we can go higher, that we can reverse here, plus all other confluence that we have. And I think on 15-minute time frame there was also RSI on EURUSD. RSI on EURUSD, as you can see, this low is lower than this, is lower than this low. As you can see, this low is lower than this low, but on the price we see that this low is higher than this low. Okay, so that's divergence again. This is another A+ setup for me. So now I dropped on 1 minute time frame. I want to see some sort of an order block in this 15-minute pin bar, which is right here, and I see this order block. Once price came to this area, I saw that EURUSD has swept liquidity, and I decided not to wait for price to come back to this order block. So I entered here because I understood that EURUSD can just shoot off from here, and this SMT can already initiate a really large move to the upside. So I decided to enter here, but account for the fact that GBP can still come into this order block. So that's why my stop loss was here. But if I was sticking to my plan, and wait for a proper confirmation, I would wait for price to give reaction, and I'll enter like this, and perhaps put my stop loss here. That's the ideal entry. However, in that case, I just thought the price could go shoot from here, and I think my stop loss was very valid, and that was still a very good setup for me, A+ setup again. So as I said, I was targeting the high of the day, which gave me 6 RR. If I'm being honest, I didn't really expect price to go so quick to my TP, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining. Still a very nice setup. And that's it basically for my analysis. If you guys want to check out all my trades, you can do so by looking at my Telegram channel. I post everything on there. It's literally within half an hour I post all my trades, and sometimes also do breakdown of the market. If you want to see me analyzing some forex pairs or the market condition overall, I'm happy to do that. Just drop me a message and I'll always be there for you guys. So give a subscribe button. The link is in the description of this video, so I hope I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.